Right, hello and welcome to News Update. I'm Moses Humphrey. The federal government has stated that the risk assessment conducted by the human health sector showed that the likelihood of an outbreak of anthrax disease in the country is high, and the potential impact of the disease on humans is equally high. Now, these were made known last night in a joint press statement signed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Veterinary Officer of Nigeria, Dr. Kolumba Vakuru, and the Director General of Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa. The government, however, noted that it has activated the incident management system at level 2 with an incident manager appointed for effective coordination of the response. The Nigeria Customs Service, NTS, yesterday intercepted and seized 31 arms of various types from the Tinkan Island Port and Multipurpose Terminals, PTML, ports in Lagos State. Now, this came on a day the Aswani Division of the Lagos Police Command intercepted a Toyota Sienna car conveying some bags loaded with illicit drugs in the Mushi-Solo Road area of Lagos State. The Comptroller General of Customs, Mr. Adewale Adeniyi, disclosed that 2 suspects were arrested and are currently in the custody of the Customs. Mr. Adeniyi also disclosed that on July 5, 2023, during a joint operation with the police, the Department of State Services, DSS, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Customs Intelligence Unit at the PTML Command made a physical examination of a 40-feet container that was conducted. Now, he explained that after the examination, it was discovered that 10 dangerous arms and various rounds of live ammunition were concealed inside plastic drums. Well, scary times indeed. Troops of the Nigerian Army have an international smuggling syndicate while transporting troops of the Nigerian Army have arrested an international smuggling syndicate while transporting a truckload of smuggled ammunition to Anambra State, Nigeria's southeast. Now, this was disclosed by the Army spokesperson, Onyema Nwachukwu, in a statement yesterday. Mr. Nwachukwu, a brigadier general, stated that the troops, acting on a tip-off, made the interception during a meticulous and rigorous stop-and-search operation along Agility Owode Road in Yewa North Local Government Area of Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. Now, he listed the ammunition to include 720 packets of Red Star cartridges of 12 caliber, which contained 25 cartridges per packet, totaling 18,000 cartridges. 250 packets of live black cartridges containing 10 packets each and totaling 2,500 cartridges of the same caliber. Mr. Nwachukwu said the troops had arrested 2 suspects and were helping in investigations by the military. He gave the suspects' names as Eric Sewovo, a Ghanaian national, and Lukman Sani, the truck driver. A former legal advisor of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Muiz Banire SAN, has insinuated that the resignation of the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, and National Secretary Iola Omishore may likely have been forced rather than voluntary. Banire made this known when he appeared on a television program hours after Senator Abubakar Kyari emerged as the new APC acting national chairman and announced Adamu and Omishore's resignation as national officers of the party. The former APC legal advisor described the duo's resignation as an unusual situation that must have been birthed by circumstances which were not obvious to people. Banire expressed the opinion that the National Working Committee and the National Executive Council knew all that had gone on before the sudden resignation. The former APC legal advisor, who served as a commissioner in Lagos State, when President Bola Tinubu was the governor, said that the president may have nothing to do with the current leadership tussle in the party. Senator Abubakar Kyari is in acting capacity has replaced Senator Abdullahi Adamu as the party's chairman after a National Working Committee meeting in Abuja. Meanwhile, the National Working Committee (NWC) of the All Progressives Congress (APC) has again postponed its National Caucus and National Executive Committee NEC meetings indefinitely. Now, this followed the resignation of Senator Abdullahi Adamu as the party's national chairman. Addressing newsmen at the end of the emergency meeting of the NWC, the APC acting national chairman, Senator Abubakar Kyari, said the meeting had been moved. The APC leadership had postponed the caucus and NEC meetings, earlier scheduled to hold on the 10th and 11th of this month, to allow the president to participate. However, the meetings were rescheduled to 18th and 19th of this month, but postponed following yesterday's resignation of Adamu and Omishore. Well, 2,300 ghost workers have been discovered to be on the payroll of Abia State government. The Accountant General of the state, Dickness Njum Onyemenam, stated this in Umuahia, the state capital. She said that the ghost workers were detected following ongoing verification of civil servants in the state. Onyemenam said that the detection led to a savings of over 220 million naira on monthly wage bill. He added that the verification exercise is ongoing. In other news, a 21-year-old undergraduate has been sent to her early grave by her lover in Lagos. The young undergraduate of Lead University, Ibadan, Oyo State, identified as Augusta Osedion, was reportedly killed by her lover, Benjamin, in Oral Estate, Ikota, Aja. It was gathered that a misunderstanding ensued between the lovebirds, which degenerated into a fight, and the victim, Augusta, was stabbed to death in the process. While confirming the incident, police spokesman Mr. Benjamin Hundeyi said detectives who visited the scene had to force the door open and found Augusta's lifeless body and the female genital chopped off. Mr. Hundeyi stated that a note suspected to have emanated from the suspect was recovered at the scene. He added that the scene has been cordoned off to enable crime detectives gather some evidence. In business, Nigeria's oil output dropped month-on-month by 5.5% to 1.249 million barrels per day in June 2023, from 1.184 million barrels per day in May 2023. Also, on year, the nation's oil output dropped by 17.6% to 1.249 million barrels per day in June 2023, from 1.515 million barrels per day in the corresponding period of 2022. In its latest July 2023 monthly oil market report obtained, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, disclosed that this was based on data obtained from official sources. The report did not consider Nigeria's condensate output, currently hovering between 300,000 and 400,000 barrels per day, meaning that when this is considered, the nation's total output will be much higher. However, in its latest July 2023 report, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has it that Nigeria's daily oil production lagged behind the OPEC quota in June as it rose marginally by 4.9% to 1.241 million barrels compared to 1.183 million barrels recorded in May 2023, while NUPRC in its oil production figures indicated that in total crude oil production and condensate oil amounted to 1.472 million barrels per day last month, an increase of 3.15% when compared to May production of 1.427 million barrels per day. In foreign news, the first meeting of South Korea and the U.S. in their Joint Nuclear Consultative Group (NCG) has begun in Seoul amid efforts to curb North Korea's nuclear threat. Now, this is the first gathering of officials from Seoul and Washington to discuss the temporarily deployment of more nuclear-capable assets to South Korea, following an agreement between South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and his U.S. counterpart, Joe Biden, at an April summit to create the Nuclear Consultative Group, NCG. The latest development came just days after the North Korea test fired a Hwasong-18 solid-fuel intercontinental ballistic missile. President Yoon also called the gathering of senior security and defense officials an important starting point for building strong and effective South Korea-U.S. extended deterrence. And that's the news update on VOP TV. We'd like you to subscribe and engage with us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, it's at VOP TV Live. I'm Moses Humphrey. Good morning.